at a question similar to, and make sure you have your calculator out, unless you know that you're using your calculator properly for number 10 and 11. If you did a bunch of work for number 10 and 11, then you should be like, okay, I need to listen to this. If 10 and 11 were super easy, then you can just chill for a minute. So for example, let's say I had 3.75 times 10 to the 3 times 4.971 times 10 to the 5. Okay? You need do nothing but pick up your calculator. Okay? Pick up your calculator and type in 3.75 and then whatever your EE button is, okay, EXP, whatever, 3. And then you'll type in times. And then you'll type in 4.971 EE 5. Okay, just type that in. 3.75 E3 times 4.971 E5 equals. And my calculator gives me a big, long number. All right, so it would be nice if I knew how to put this into scientific notation. Let me see. Does it tell me? On the back of this calculator, it actually tells me if I press mode and then decimal, I think. Mode decimal. No, that didn't work. Maybe let me just try it now. 3.75 E3 times 4.971 E5 equals, no, that's not working for me. So anyway, it gives me this number, 1864125,000. If I had time, I would go online and I would look up my calculator model. Okay, so I would look up the FX 260 Solar 2. All right, this is what I would do. I would get online here and I'd be like, Casio FX 280 Solar 2 scientific notation. Okay, and I would be like, okay, scientific notation on this calculator.
Hello and welcome to HP Calc's Code button, which is located right here, and the EXP button, which is located down here, and 8 is the mode we'll be using. So to get started, if we had, let's say, 150,000 and wanted to convert this to scientific notation, we would enter the number on our screen. There you go, 150,000, and then press the mode 8. Now nothing's changing, but it wants to know how many sig figs we want to use. So for this example, we'll use 2 because there's 2 sig figs here.
Okay, I don't want it to round to sig figs.
And you can see.
So on this particular calculator, I can see I get about 10 digits here. So I'm going to type mode 89. Okay, and now it gives it to me to 9 digits and then I can round off, but it is now in scientific notation. Now my calculator, this particular calculator, if you have one like this, a little Casio, now it says 1.84 or 64,125,00 times 10 to the 9. Okay? So I can now take that number. I have 3 sig figs and I have 4 sig figs. I'm not looking at the uncertain digit because in this case, I am multiplying. When we multiply, we look at the number of sig figs. We go with the smaller number of sig figs, which means I need to have 3 sig figs, which means this is going to become 1.86 times 10 to the 9. Now, you're going to have to go through that same process that I did to figure out the mode, scientific notation mode on my calculator. Unless you have a Casio, you're going to have to look it up for your calculator. Can you do that? Is it worth not having to F around every time you get some big number? Yes? Yes? Okay. Does anyone want to spend a couple minutes right now finding that on their phone? Go on your phone and find out how to turn your calculator in and out of scientific notation. Take a couple minutes right now. If you are really lucky, you might have a button on your calculator that says this. And if you have one that goes between scientific and fixed, or it says sci fix, then you are lucky. And you don't need to go mode anything. If you have the little Casio, mode 8, 9 will get you into scientific notation. And then, let's see, mode 7? No. Okay. I love this little calculator though. It's like $10 on sale. So you can't really go wrong. Anyone want a hand finding stuff on their calculator? Okay. So have you looked up how to do it? I can't help you with that. Yeah. Go for it. Yeah. Yeah. Hi. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. That means, do you want 1 digit? Do you want 9 digits? I usually go with 9, then I can round it to whatever I need to. When I hit it, yeah. Okay, so you're gonna need to look that up. Did you have that mode? Where did you go? You went mode. Okay, and then you would go to fix. And then 9. There you go. So you can either go to fixed or normal. Okay, yeah. So some of you may have a mode button that takes you to a little menu, in which case you're lucky. If you have that, I can show you what to do with it. But yeah, take a moment and figure out how it works. Yeah, so you would choose the one you want, and then you let you 9 to see how you want it. Yes. Yeah. Well, it's not 129.5, it's 120.9446. No. You don't round it. You just Number 9. Yeah, so number 9 equals 6, right? So this times this is that. So now we have this number, which has 2 significants. That's for 6. Add it. We've got uncertainty in that. Yeah. Anyone need a hand with their calculator? Hi. Okay, so you're gonna choose 9 because you want many digits as possible. And then a real one for you. Automatically you may decide this information. There you go. Sign notification. Now, if you want to go to sign notification, you can go to normal gathers. And then. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyone else? Calculator? Okay, don't charge me. Hello. Ah, so yours is really nice. That's really nice. Yes, I should be more. Yes, yeah. Yeah. Now, what is that? Okay, so how did you get into that menu? Mode. Okay. Inside. Okay. 0. Yeah. And then you. Fixed. That's all right. Why is it? There's something wrong with your calculator.
Okay, but I think World History was better on. It feels better.
All right, so that is one of the questions. So one of the things you want to do is you want to make sure your calculator is working well for you. The other thing, and this is again going back to the fact that students work too slowly when they get to university and they're unable to finish their tests. This also happens in high school. If you're doing chemistry and you have a calculator that always gives you your answer as a fraction and you have to always push that extra button, that is taking extra time. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, all these little things, they add up. So if you're doing things that, like, it gives you like 1490 over 62 and you have to press like 2 or 3 buttons to get it to go into decimal notation, get yourself a different calculator, right? And if you can't afford it yet, save up for one, okay? Along the way, if you plan on carrying on in science. Yeah, for sure. Okay, now let's say we were dividing. Let's say I had 8 times 10 to the negative 6 divided by 4.2 times 10 to the 3. So what I'm going to type in on my calculator, I'm not going to do anything weird. I'm not going to write down any work because this is just a division. Whenever it's a division, you do not need to write any work. I'm going to type in 8, E, whatever your E button is, negative 6, and then I'm going to press divided by, and then I'm going to type in 4.2, whatever your E button is, times 10 to the 3. Try that. See what you get. When I do that, I get 0.000000002. 2, which is really ugly. Okay, some of you, it might put it into scientific notation for you. If it doesn't, this is another case where after you're done that, you would need to then turn it into scientific notation. 2 ways of doing that, because you're like, there's other numbers here, but they're not on your calculator screen. They're hiding. Because I know this calculator, I could press mode 8, 9, and that would put it in scientific notation for me. But if I don't know on my calculator, I do know that I need to have, well, in this case, it doesn't matter. I only need 1 sig fig. But let's say this was 8.0 and I needed that second digit. Okay? I could, if I wanted to, multiply by 1,000. If I do that, all of a sudden my calculator now says 0.000001905. So it is showing me that I didn't really have a 2 here. I really had a 1905. Yeah? And at that point, then I could say, well, if this was an 8.0, then I would say my answer would be 1.9 times 10 to the, and I would have to use this one. That would be 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to the negative 9. Okay? So 2 things about those types of questions. Number 1, figure out on your calculator, if you weren't able to do it today, take a few minutes on the weekend and watch a video, right, about how to use your model of calculator. All right. And then second thing, just plug everything in if you're multiplying and dividing, and don't do any extra work. You will save yourself tons of time, because people were showing all kinds of work and blah, blah, blah. Don't bother with it. For questions 7, 9, 12, and 13, if you got any of those wrong, I stapled a little doodad to your paper that showed how the work was done. Okay, so you can take a look at that. And if you have questions on that, I know there were some people who are like, they'll get their quiz back and they'll be like, yes. You write it right now, sure. Yes. You want to write it right now too? Oh, a rewrite?
Yeah.
I can't give you a rewrite because I don't have it made yet. I have to make it over the weekend. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now, I want you to think back to Wednesday and Thursday of this week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Think back. If you did fine on this quiz, you don't have to do this little exercise with me. But if you got, let's say, less than 9 on the quiz, I want you to think back to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I want you to look in your book, and I want you to see if you did all the questions on, say, pages 45 and 46. Okay? If you didn't, then that might be one reason why you didn't do so well. Okay? What if you did these questions and you looked at the answer and you got it wrong? I did realize that some people didn't realize that there was a worked answer key. So if we go to our team and we look at Cam 11 and we go to our files and we go to math and particles and we have the sig fig math, big sig fig review. Okay, and I scroll down. Oh, I've hit the answer key and I want part E. Part E. Do you see how the answers are given here, but what does it say? What have I put stars around? Worked answers follow below. So if you ever catch hint of a star on a page, it means I really want you to look at this. I've gone to the trouble of putting stars around it. So if you say we're doing question number 62, and you're like, I don't know how to do that. Well, you can go through here and it actually walks you through each of the rules. Yes? So that can be a really helpful thing to do. And also, if you got below 9 out of 13, I want you to think, did I come into flex when I should have? Did I? Did I come by at lunch? And I'm going to say no. The answer is no, because I only saw people who got really good on the quiz because they came in and got their questions answered. Yes? So come and see me. Get your questions answered. All right? But if you did well, good. Yay. Okay? You can study, restudy over the weekend, rewrite the quiz on Monday or Tuesday. Yes? No, I don't have it made yet. Yeah. Okay? So that's where we're at with that quiz. If you want to drop by for a couple of minutes after school today and just go through a couple of things with me, it won't take long. We could even spend like 5 minutes, whatever. It's great. In the meantime, we are going to carry on with how did these first 3 questions on pages 54 and 55 go? Was there any of those that anyone wanted to go over? Pages 54, 55, did we want to go over any of those? And if you haven't done any of them, you might say, I would like to go over question 1. No? We're good? All right. In that case, we're going to move on to converting rates, which is on page 57. Page 57. Sometimes you will be given a rate. A rate is something where you have a number on the top and a unit on the top, a number on the bottom, and a unit on the bottom. And you'll be asked to convert it, say going from meters per second to miles per hour. Okay? This gets a little more complicated than it was before. So let's say we had 5 kilometers per hour, and we wanted to change that. So we want to go from kilometers per hour into kilometers per minute. What you would have to recognize is that you want to convert the hours, and the hours aren't on the top, the hours are on the bottom. So in order to cancel them, you would then have to put them on the top. And then the minutes would have to go on the bottom. Where do you want the minutes? You want the minutes on the bottom. Does that make sense? Okay. So if regular ground beef costs $2.89 per pound, I should probably update that one as well. What is the cost in dollars per kilogram? This is a bit tricky because $2.89 per pound looks like a conversion factor. In fact, it could be if we were asked to convert between dollars and pounds or pounds and dollars. But that is not what we are asked for. We are asked to convert dollars per pound into dollars per kilogram. First thing, anytime you see this, don't leave it like that. Change it into dollars over pounds, because remember, what does per mean? Per means divided by. So we want to divide dollars per pound, dollars divided by pounds. And we want to write dollars per kilogram as dollars divided by kilograms, dollars per kilogram. Okay, so we're going to start with dollars per pound and change it into dollars per kilogram. So always take your slash form and write it in top bottom form, okay? What'll happen sometimes is if you try and leave it like this, you'll see the pounds, and the pounds look like they are up top. Yeah, they look like they're on the top line, and you'll write pounds in the bottom. You'll be like, oh, that's great. But we run into a problem. Okay, we would end up with our units. The pounds don't actually cancel out because the pounds are actually down here. Yeah? And even if you did think they canceled out, let's just pretend we thought they canceled out. Pounds cancel with pounds. Okay, that's wrong, but let's pretend that we thought that. You would still end up with dollar kilograms. Yeah? And what the heck is a dollar kilogram? There's no such thing. Yeah? So, if you write it, however, like this, with the pounds on the bottom, $2.89 per pound, we can look up the conversion factor between pounds and kilograms. We have 0.454 kilograms per pound. And we can see that this does not work. You end up with dollars, kilograms over pounds squared. Not nice. So, how would we do it properly? We would say, okay, I have my unknown, which is, I don't know how many dollars per kilogram. My initial quantity, which I have written as $2.89 over top of pounds. And I want to find kilograms. I want kilograms on the bottom. Do you see how it's on the bottom? So I want it on the bottom. I want to cancel pounds. So I need to put pounds on the top. Okay, so pounds, and we are told that there are 2.2 pounds per kilogram, 2.2 pounds per 1 kilogram, and we would calculate that out, and we would get $2.89, 2.89 times 2.2 equals, and I get 635.8. And my unit, I still have dollars on the top, and now I have kilograms on the bottom. So I have dollars per kilogram. I would need to round that to sig figs. This is just multiplying and dividing. 3 sig figs. 2 sig figs. Because we're multiplying, we're not concerned about uncertain digit, we're only concerned about sig figs. So my answer would have 2 sig figs, so we would say that is $6.30, 6.3 per kilogram. Generally, I wouldn't bother with that, I'd go to the whatever, but anyway. I'm mumbling now because I should not really do sig figs with a dollar amount because it's kind of icky, right? Dollars should have dollars and cents. But anyway, regardless, that's how you do it. So remember, no slashes, always rewrite as top over bottom. Okay, bald eagles. Do I have this question over here? No, I do not. That sucks. Okay. That's okay, I can grab it. Okay, so this example is on page 59. Page 59. Bald eagles have a diving speed of up to 100 miles per hour. How many meters per second is this? So let's first find our unknown. How many meters per second? So our unknown is how many meters per second. And you'll notice already I have changed it into meters over seconds, not meters slash seconds. What is our initial quantity here? Tell your partner. You only got one number. There's only one choice, right? Yeah, it has to be 100 miles per hour. How should I write that?
100 miles, no slash.
Miles over hours. Okay? Divided by. All right? And there's a decimal here. So that's going to give us some actual sig figs. That's kind of nice. Okay? And we're going to say, well, you could do a map for this problem. Okay, we're going to start with miles per hour, and we want to eventually finish with meters per second. What could we convert miles into? And if you're like, I have no idea what I can convert miles into, we can actually go back to, I think it's in here somewhere. Where is it? No, it's way back up here. Common conversion factors are on page 3. Page 3. These are conversion factors that you do not need to memorize. Okay, because they are between metric and imperial. All right, and I know that I could go between miles and kilometers. All right, so 1 mile is 1.609 kilometers, and kilometers will get me closer to meters. Yeah? Okay. So I could go from miles to kilometers. And let me just write down that conversion factor. 1.609 kilometers is equal to 1 mile. That would give me kilometers per hour. Yeah? Because I can only do one conversion at a time. What could I go to next that would get me closer to meters per second? I could go from kilometers to meters. Okay, there we go, kilometers to meters. And I'm still meters per hour. I could go from hours to minutes. So that's still going to be meters. The meters are going to stop changing. This is going to be minutes. And then minutes to seconds. So how many conversions are involved in this? 1, 2, 3, 4 conversions. Okay. So we have this one, which is the only one I think we don't know. Hopefully we know the other ones. So let's now write out this problem. We have my unknown is, I don't know how many meters per second. I know a lot of you don't like writing this step, but it helps you at the end if you see that your units equal these units. Okay? We are starting with 100 miles per hour. And in our first step, we want to convert miles to kilometers. Where should the miles go, top or bottom? They should go on the bottom because miles are on the top, so we have to put them on the bottom here. And we wanted to find kilometers, so kilometers go on the top. Next, I don't want kilometers, I want meters. Where do kilometers have to go? They have to go on the bottom so that they'll cancel out. And we were going to find meters, which is going to go on the top. So now we've done step 1, we've done step 2. We've gotten all we need to do on the top part. Now we need to say, hang on a second, let's get rid of all these so they don't clutter things up. What do I have on the bottom that I want to get rid of? I want to get rid of hours because I don't want hours. I'm going to take my hours and convert to minutes. So in this case, we're now going to put our hours. Hours are on the bottom, so where do hours have to go? They have to go on the top. Hours cancel out, and we change to minutes, so minutes go on the bottom. Okay. And then we need to go from minutes to seconds. Minutes are on the bottom, so minutes need to go on the top. And our seconds will go on the bottom, so minutes cancel out. All we are left with then is meters over seconds. Okay, so that's going to be what we end with. And then we just throw in all our numbers. So it is 1.609 kilometers per 1 mile. How many meters in a kilometer? 1,000. How many minutes in an hour? 60. And how many seconds in a minute? 60. All right. Then we just toss all of this into our calculator. 100 times 1.609 times 1,000 divided by, and I'm just going to put in 3,600 because I'm lazy, and we get 44.694 repeater. And our unit, the only thing we have left is meters per second. Yeah. Sig figs. Ha. But remember, all multiplying and dividing, so all you're doing is you're saying how many sig figs in each number round to the least sig figs. How many sig figs in 100? 3. How many in 1.609? 4. How many in the 1? Infinite. How many in 1,000 meters? Infinite, because it's the same measuring system. How many in 1? Infinite. How many in 1 hour? Infinite. All of these are defined. Yes, you're not wondering, are there 60 minutes in an hour? Could it be 61? No, it's exact. Okay, and we have infinite, 1 minute, infinite. So our smallest sig fig is 3 sig figs. So we go here and we say 1, 2, 3, look to the right. That's going to round up, so that's going to become 44.7 meters per second. That's big and long and ugly. What if you don't like big and long and ugly? What if you want a simpler way to do it? It will require a little bit more writing, but it is often for people easier. Convert the top, convert the bottom, and then divide. Okay, so this is method A. Method A, do it all in one line. Method B, convert the top, convert the bottom, Put the top over the bottom and divide. Now, there are 4 steps in this method. Lots of people will do steps 1, 2, and 3, and then they'll forget to do step 4. Okay, so just make sure if you do this method that you go to the trouble of dividing your final numbers one over the other. Would you like to see how it works in that method? Apparently not. Nobody?
That was cool.
Shall we see it?
To see it.
Okay. Do you want me to go fast?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, you know what we could do? We could just look at it here. This is on page 60. Page 60. We separate the top and the bottom. So my top is 100 miles. And I have per hour. Now, what does it mean if I have just hour? What number is there with hour? 1 hour. So that's 1 hour. Okay, so we've separated the top and the bottom. We're now going to convert the top. We take our 100 miles and we cancel out the miles. We cancel out the kilometers, and eventually we find the meters. Is good? Okay, keep your whole number here. That's now your top. Convert the bottom. Remember what was on the bottom? 1 hour. And that's an exact number. So we're going to take 1 hour. We want to convert it into seconds. So we take 1 hour and we convert it into minutes. Then we cancel the minutes. And we find the seconds. So now this here is the bottom. So we've converted the top. We've converted the bottom. Now we're going to put the top over top of the bottom. So we don't know how many meters per second. We put our meters over our seconds. Some people get stuck here and they just stop. Okay, you have to keep going. Keep going. Okay, you have to divide. You have to take the 160,900 and divide by 3,600. I have no idea what that was. That was not an earthquake. That was like something going thump. Yeah, it's an earthquake. Let's get under our desks, everyone. Remember, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Oh, I just got a text from my son. Did you feel a tremor?
Everyone's going to tremor.
Yeah. So I guess that was our 60. So now we can go back to doing what we were doing. Okay. That That was actually a really good drill because it was a nice, like, you could really feel it, but we didn't fall apart, but nothing collapsed.
It shook there, girl.
It did actually shake there. I thought something had fallen in the back room, like something really heavy had fallen. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, at any rate, you take your top, your bottom, and you divide, and you still go to 3 sig figs. And so your homework is going to be page 60 and 61, numbers 1, 2, 3. Ooh, little aftershock there.
Yeah.
I am so shocked that there's been no announcement. Like, what are they doing?
Hiding?
Yeah. Anyway, if it starts rumbling again, just get back under your desk. I mean, the aftershocks seem very, very mild at this point, so.
It was a 4.8. Mine was up.
Oh, we're just yelling instead of going on the announcements. Like, what the? Why do we do these drills if they're not? Anyway, it's all good. You guys did awesome. You were all like under the desk, hanging on to the fantastic. We all knew to count to 60. And also, let's just make sure you're good with these ones as well. So we need 55 and 56, number 4, 5, 6. Are we getting aftershock still? Or is that just my...
It was a pretty bigger.
Yeah, it was.
I had to search it up. It was 4.8.
4.8, yeah.
There were other ones that was
Okay, plus, if you did not do so hot on the Sig Fig quiz, study for the requiz. If you need to. All right, and we have 10 minutes right now, so if you guys want to work on that right now, you won't have very much actual homework for the weekend. Or if you wanted to go over some Sig Fig stuff, if you've got questions from your quiz, I can come around and answer those right now, okay? Yes. Usually when you multiply, you have to add your results. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Please excuse the interruption. As many of you are aware and have notified the office, we did just experience a fairly noticeable earthquake in the area. At this point, there's no reason for concern, no damage to the building, so classes can continue as regularly scheduled. If that changes, we feel another earthquake, as always, please follow earthquake code. Thank you.
Right, that's what time they will start now. Whatever. Thank you. And you're so good.
And this one it ends with milligrams, but I don't know where they got milligrams from. This is sorry. And
What days?
But do you like the word big part of the face? It's like tall, but it's insane.
And so I thought,
It's like big pretty floating. Go ahead. Right? Why do you think that's so good?
check all the units. Okay, yeah.
Oh, sorry, wait. One and you could be oh my god. It's supposed to be like the university that I didn't grad. Oh wait, here.
If you find anybody.
Oh wait, you were full. Oh, you.
And I was at the things that last week. You have a whole 7 days to check that, bro. Bro was not.
Yeah, she doesn't. I like give you. I don't think so. Here, this is whatever you want.
No, but I need my money. I need my money.
No, they are. Oh my goodness. You back with me later. You're love.
Oh, I
But that's awesome. It is. So true though. I like these things. Well, we keep good. She used to have like the white worksheet, right? Yeah, that's crazy.
Light will go out and right? Yeah.
So the epicenter was in C sharp.
You asked the office.
Yeah, which is like on the Sunday post. But I mean, it's kind of good thing, because when you have an earthquake like that, you recall around here, right? So small earthquakes are good. You should say yay, small earthquakes, because that means less chance of a great big ginormous earthquake. So yay, small earthquakes. Well, they say to like wait for a minute, like sit under the desk for a minute and count and like see if the apple is and then the aftershock and stuff, those stuff we shall afterwards.
They were evil. Oh no.
Yeah. Well, we all wish we could. Everyone did well. Here's me thinking, you dropped the back room, drop the bowling ball, I don't know. Well, and the other thing is too, when kids run down the hallway, the floor shakes.
Yeah, but don't think that she's like that. Does it?
Yeah, yeah. And you know where it really shakes is, if you're sitting in your car and people are going down the ramp out of the school. Like, it really does feel like an earthquake's going on there every day after school. You're on the ramp, running down, and when kids are running down to catch the bus, it's like, yeah. So if you're ever on that ramp, it is not an earthquake, it's just students. Yeah, yeah,
I don't know, it felt like an earthquake, but then the question
yeah, yeah.
That's what most of the things that happen.
Well, that was exciting.
Yeah, but if it was destructive, right?
No, but it wasn't. That's the thing. It wasn't destructive, so it was fun. Like, I find, I don't know. I can't get too worked up about things unless something bad actually happens, right? And it just really pressure, so that's good.
I think art must be not one. Art must be not one.
Does anyone have any questions about sig figs or anything else?
We used to go out.
Oh, okay. Let's find it for you.
I marked it.
I'm not 100% sure I've marked it. Let me just check. I may not have. Let's find out. Oh, I did mark it. No, didn't I? Is it not? Hang on.
Oh, really?
I found it.
You found it? Yay! Excellent. Good, there you go.
I had a stress. Thank you.
Yeah,
Now it's better.
good.
Thank you.